the guys are wore out. They literally work till dark for a couple of days there to cover. They recovered here in Huron about 130 hoop houses. Avon covered, and I don't know how many Avon covered. You know, it was a similar situation. So we really had to go out and cover. Obviously, a lot of the stuff was growing, so they really went the extra mile to protect it. I will tell you, if people didn't protect some of this material from that freeze, it's very possible they will see damage. It's pretty much the deciduous, because a lot of the deciduous in the area is so far out. People are even going to see damage in their yards from plants that have been there for years. So be prepared for that. Know that that is a distinct possibility, that when that tissue is out, it usually won't kill a plant, this type of stuff, but it will distort the leaf, it will speckle the leaf, it will get a little margin burn. So things like that. So if you see any of those things starting next week from your customers, make sure you ask the question, did they protect it through the freeze? If they didn't, it's very possible they could see some of that light damage like that. So anyways, but it looks like going forward, we're back in business here. We got one more night of heavy frost. So, you know, anything, especially a lot of perennials that are pushed out, we need to be very careful with that type of material with the frost coming up. But then it looks like we're coming back out of this pretty good. So stay tuned. So anyways, first off, wanted to show you a boxwood. Cheryl was able to roll some more of these. They look fantastic. These are 2-gallon green gem. You can see there all that new growth coming on in them. You know, don't oversell the size. It is a 10-inch plant, but you can see they're a good solid meatball. Green gem is a slower grower, so definitely as boxwood go, I don't think of boxwood being high maintenance plants anyways, but this is probably the lowest, one of the lowest maintenance boxwood we grow. It would be a rarity that it would ever require a trim in its lifetime because of the slower growth and the uniformity of the plant. So you have 1,500 there available. Next is winter gem. Talked about it a lot. We wanted to show you a photo of just how great they're looking. You know, this is a photo of a couple days ago. All this new growth coming on, pushing in there, that great springtime color. So it's pretty much shaking off that winter color where the leaf gets a little dull. But now you get those good shiny glossy leaves. It really stands out in a crowd. You know, we got quite a few of these bigger ones available. So we got about 600, and then we have thousands and thousands of threes available. But you can see there the sheer size. This should be fantastic for going anywhere you want to go. You know, re-wholesaler or landscaper or garden center. You know, it's a nice package. Even a garden center can handle that, and it's got a lot of wow impact when you land it. So 700 of those still left, and lots of threes that are also running larger. Euonymus Fireball. So you can see here, this is in the Proven Winter program. It has a longer lasting color in the fall and more intense color. So it tends to hold that leaf a little longer in through the fall to give you more of that impact color for a burning bush. You know, burning bush are you know, they're all about the fall color. So, but also we like it because it's a nice structured plant. It's definitely more compact than regular Elatus compacta. So you get a real nice uniform shape. You don't have to worry about trimming or anything like that. It can be used more as a foundation plant, where I've seen a lot of people try to use burning bush as a foundation plant, and it just gets too big over time. It gets hard to maintain it. So this series would do better for a smaller area if they want that impact. and we have 350 available in a 2-gallon. Hydrangea confetti. This is a plant that we brought on board several years ago. It's in the Plants That Works program. You can see there a picture of the flower. What we like about it is it has extremely strong, sturdy stems. It will not flop. It won't even think about flopping. And it also presents its flower very well above the foliage. A lot of the hydrangea paniculatas that we have kind of foliage kind of mixed in with the flower. Part of the flower is buried down in the foliage. This does not do that. When it pushes its flower up, it's all flower at the top. So it's very visually impactful. So that's a couple of the reasons why we really brought it on. You know, very long blooms can get up to a foot long, but the habit of the plant is very compact. Nice, you know, it gets you a big bloom with a compact plant, you know, nice combination. So we liked it. That's why we brought it on board. Great plant. We got 600 of them available. Limetta, which is a different animal. This is in the arborescens family. So it's a flat type of flower. You can see there from the photo from last summer, like a summer photo. You can see here the today photo, the foliage. We got great foliage on these. Limetta, from the name, it has kind of that greenish tinge to a white flower. It's very compact. So that's what's great about this series. It's a very compact arborescence, which has been hard to come by, where Incredible or some of those can get pretty big. And it does bloom. It blooms great. It gets the plant just fills with blooms from day one. I've seen older ones that just are filled. You can't hardly see any of the foliage when it blooms, which is great. And they definitely present above the foliage, which is another real nice feature. So we have 900 of these available. They're looking great. They're really full. We're not cheating the size in any way. You can see there, you just got this great full leaves all the way down the bottom of the can. That's how it's going to look when it lands to your customer today. So, all right, Alex Wolmer, talk about it. We'll keep talking about it. Great plant. I think that not a lot of people know about it. I think it's kind of an underused, kind of looked over type of holly. Very compact, smaller leaf, very dark foliage. You do get berry set with it. Great plant. It can be used as a small border hedge or in more smaller areas. You can plant them in groupings. You can use them singly. And it just has that real glossy leaf. It's probably one of the glossiest leaves we have. Its hardiness is very good. And also it can go north, especially if you can put it in an area where you think you're going to get snow cover, because it's such a compact plant, lower grower. Sometimes you can push it into zone 4 because of that. It's not a guarantee. You never know if you're going to get snow, but that's another feature where I've seen these doing very well up in northern Michigan. I've seen them up there in a planting that are doing very well. So we have 1,300 of them available. Take a look at that. Great plant to land. I would pick this one for the garden center, really. Juniper Old Gold. You can see here, I've got some fantastic size there. We also have a lot of gold lace out there that look great too. You can see there where we really got that gold color pushing out on it now. We're still probably a couple weeks away from any real growth happening, but what it does is it starts to push those tip buds out with that nice bright color. So this is the time of year when they look fantastic. So we still have 300 of these available. like I said, we also have gold lace. We also have some more crops coming out. We have gray owl out there. All the junipers, really have nice color this time of year. They're pushed out. This is a little earlier than normal. A lot of times they look a little duller this time of year, but they're looking great. So, Pierce Mountain Fire. So we looked at our numbers. We were sold out. We're able to move another crop in, start to whittle away on that. So we got 250 available. Plus, I think there's about, I don't know, 400 or so that still have to get shipped out here. But you can see here where we're at. You can see the flowers still inside there. The flowers are going down, which is typical. But what's great about this plant right now is the flower is not going to turn brown. It's just going to drop it. So it's going to look clean as it drops. And then you got this fantastic new growth. This is where the name comes from. The name doesn't come from the flower. The name comes from the foliage. So, you got that fire red new growth coming out that will continue to push out, all through May. You'll have that fantastic red color. So it's an eye catcher. Another one again that people's interest will get drawn right to it. So 250 available. Viburnum marisi, this I would say is more towards the more towards the re-wholesaler or landscaper. With this size, this is a 15 gallon 36. You can see we're pushing the 42 inch. You see they're breaking real nice. They got really good structure. We trimmed them back last year to just get that real heavy, beefy plant. We have 128 ready to go. And Cheryl says they are starting to bud. These usually don't bloom until towards the end of May, towards Memorial. Might be a little earlier this year, but it's just that hopefully the size just gets people excited. The size and the quality, and we got leaves all the way down to the bottom of the can on this real big 15 gallon. So, lastly, this is Wabi Sabi. We brought this on quite a few years ago. We're no longer producing it. This is going to be the last crop with it, and I want to make sure I communicate that. But this crop looks fantastic. The reason we took it out was because it is extremely difficult to propagate it. It's extremely difficult to get it going. Once you get it going, the plant is fantastic. It just doesn't, we just can't seem to find what makes it tick when it's young in a container. Once you get it established, once you get it to size like this one here, you can see how fantastic it is. Extremely low grower, almost I would call it a spreader. And then you get these fantastic, huge domes of flowers all over it. It's a bloomer that usually starts more towards Mother's Day, but it's blooming a little early. It can really fill a big area. It can probably fit a lot of different areas. We have 140 of them. Obviously, we'd like to move them now while they look like this, how great they look. They only bloom once, but they're a long-lasting bloom. These blooms will last all the way till Memorial, so they'll stick on there for a very long time. So it's called Wabi Sabi. It's in the Proven Winner program. See if you can get some people interested. Once you get the plant planted in the ground, it's fine. It's just an established thing, and it was costing us way more money to try to get it going and produce it than what it was worth. But hopefully some people, it's probably more of a plant geeky type of plant, but hopefully identify some of those people and get them interested in it and get them a few of these. All right. Just a note on B&B, they're out there digging pretty hard. They're pushing their hours as long as they can. With the 80 degrees that they're starting to show us next week, we'll be out of business. So all the orders that we have a plan in place to get them dug. So the orders that we have, we will get them dug. After we're really pushing hard to be done by the end of the day Wednesday. So we put more people to the digging crew. Mark has gotten us all the orders. So the guys are out there trying to just get everything out that they can as quick as they can because digging season is going to come to an abrupt end. Jay's done digging. Just most of the deciduous is already pushed too far. Pines are starting to candle, so they're out there trying to rush through the pines. Hemlock and spruce have the more time, so those will be next week, but we really are trying to push to be out of business by Wednesday, Thursday. So all the material will be hauled to the holding area and watered. It's extremely critical that when you're having conversations with your people, this stuff needs a huge amount of water. We're going to water it real heavy before we ship it. We're also going to apply quite a bit of the product called injector, which is that wetting agent that goes in the ball to help them. We're also double tarping. We're starting to do the double tarping here, especially on any load that we might have some deciduous on. I know Jay's double tarping almost all his deciduous. We do that just to give it a little extra layer of protection to keep from, as the truck drives down the road, to keep the wind from burning that new growth. So that's coming to a quick end. You got something that comes through last minute, by all means bring it up, but I cannot make any promises at this time, but we'll do our best to accommodate anything that comes through. Okay,